Hello there, welcome to Tubi Tuesday. I'm Scotty. You're not. In case you're wondering, I don't know if you would, but why I'm wearing the same shirt in all these videos. Well, it's the weekend, so, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to wear the same clothes. I will take a shower tomorrow from when I'm recording this, so I will change my clothes then, but, because Sundays are shower days and laundry days for me. I take a shower, I get new clothes on and everything. But I figure it's the weekend, I don't go anywhere to do anything. I need to impress anyone. Maybe I should put deodorant on. Anyway, Tubi Tuesday, that's right. We're talking about Campfire Tales, which is a movie I discovered on YouTube many years ago. In fact, I watched it back to back with the movie Fever Lake with Corey Haim. That I think you can still find that one on YouTube, but not this one. So I've been trying to find a way to review it. I think DVD covers are not that cheap, so luckily for Tubi, I found it. Well, this is an anthology movie where it's a group of teenagers who are driving on the road, drunk driving, they get in an accident, and so they go to this abandoned church that's nearby, and they have a fire, and they tell spooky stories. We'll talk about it. And so each of the stories they tell is another one of these anthology stories. So, and we have a pretty good cast here. Although the cover of this would make you think that the four main characters are different than that you would think, because they have James Marsden, Amy Smart, Christine Taylor, and Ron Livingston. The four big names of this movie are shown on the cover of the box art. And none of them, except for Christine Taylor, are the main characters. James Marsden and Amy Smart are in our little opening thing that we have. Ron Livingston is in another one of the stories, but Christine Taylor is legitimately only one of the main characters that are on the box. Alright, we start in the 1950s with this couple making out on an overlook like he did, and it's in black and white, and it's James Marsden and Amy Smart, and there's some report on the radio of some maniac from a hook who's kept in a mental asylum, and she thinks that she saw something. He's not sure. She's like, "Take me home. I'm like out of here." So he takes her to the drive-in or some diner or whatever, and he goes, "I'm hungry for a burger," and she's like, "Get me a milkshake." And when he comes back, he sees the buddy hook hanging outside the attached to her door, and it's like, whoa. And that's where it cuts to them driving. So it's like one of them was telling this story, but it's very confusing. Right? Not this is supposed to be true or not. But they have their car accident, and they decide, instead of walking their way back to somewhere, they're just gonna hide until the cops show up. But they were drunk driving, so they're gonna get arrested. I think you'd want to run out of there, but no, they decide to go hide and go in this place to take shelter for the night when it is, it's not necessarily raining, but they're taking shelter. They start a fire, and they start telling stories. Now, the first story in this is called The Honeymoon. And it is a couple, one of them, Ron Livingston, the other one, an actress who I don't remember. They are traveling down the road when they park the RV in an area where this guy, who is the bus driver from Speed, shows up and says, "You can't park here. You gotta leave. You can't park. You cannot park here." Like, fine. And so they only end up moving a little bit up the road because they want to park there and have sex. Even though, like, before that, she's like, "Oh, my ankle is bothering me." And then it cuts to them because they find out, oh, the guy siphoned their gas. They just filled the gas tank, but it's empty now because the guy siphoned the gas. What do we do? Let's have sex. And it's not like she's laying down on the bed and he's on top. No, it's the bend you over and take you right there while she's pushed up against the window. And I'm like, And then at the afterwards, she's like, ah. He's like, you okay? She's like, yeah, my ankle. I'm like, well, yeah, it would hurt. You just bent her over and went to town. Of course her ankle's gonna hurt. Why would she? I don't know. But she gets some boobage, so you know. And you see there's someone or something out there watching them and putting their hands up. And yeah. So, against anyone's better judgment, by the way, we see the dude who's the bus driver from Speed get attacked by something. And so Ron Livingston decides, well, I have to go get gas so we can get the hell out of here. She's like, well, don't leave. He's like, well, I have to, or we can't leave, because I'm sure that guy's gone now, because he's the worst thing they're going to worry about. So he takes off and eventually finds the guy's body, so he ends up running back and tries to knock to get in there, but they set up a special knock, which is not special at all. She doesn't believe it's him, so she just hides herself, but she is attacked by this creature as well. And when she wakes up the next day, someone finds her, and her boyfriend is now, her husband, her new husband is now dead. But she survived the night, I guess. Yeah. And that's the twist, that her boyfriend is not dead, and she had, yeah. The next one is entitled, Humans Can Lick Too. Gee, I wonder what the twist is going to be. So there's this girl named Amanda, and she is on a chat website with a girl named Jessica, who we later find out is a predator, sexual predator, grown-ass man. Although, against the stereotype of people like this you see movies and TV, it is not some overweight, fat, balding guy pervert. It's this dude who we don't see his face. He looks skinny. He's got long blonde hair. Maybe someone from a Rob Zombie movie. I don't know. But we see that someone is videotaping her, which is gross. And she and her sister are being left home alone because, of course, they are. And they're given money by their parents to spend it on food. As soon as the parents leave, she's like, I'm out of here. I'm going to hang out with my friends. And you're left all alone. Because that's smart. But, yeah, so she's left alone. And then this made me a little uncomfortable. Yeah, they cut to another scene, and she's standing in the bathroom in a towel. This little 11-year-old girl, and I'm going, why did they film this? And it's not as if it's the Predator filming this. It is the regular camera, and I'm just like, why are we seeing this? This is not, no, this is some Dan Schneider shit. No, why are we? I didn't read up anything on this. If there was some kind of controversy with this, I don't know. This is... No. Luckily, it doesn't last long, and she goes to bed, but then she couldn't find the dog, so she starts sneaking around. There's also a thing where she couldn't find her bike, and she finds it in the garage, and there's noise, and so then she ends up going back to her room. The sister is now home, and she's like trying to find the dog, and she sees something going underneath the bed, and you know that shit ain't the dog. You know it ain't the dog. She's like, oh, there you are. No, that ain't your dog. No. That with the title like Humans Can Lick Too? No. So she lays down, she puts her hand because it's creepy enough when it's a college dorm and a college girl who's of age and puts her hand down there. Or a guy even is creepy. Like in Urban Legends Bloody Mary. But an 11-year-old girl does that. And they actually show the guy licking her hand with the written Humans Can Lick Too. And just... By the way, the way the legend's supposed to go is that she's supposed to pick up the next morning with the guy gone and then finding the dead dog's body in the bedroom where it says Humans Can Lick Too. But they wanted extra creepiness apparently. The guy's still there. She freaks out. She tells her sister they go to look underneath the bed and that's where they find the dead dog. So... yeah, they do cut in between to telling stories. At one point, Christopher Masterson, Christine Taylor, and the other girl all gather up on a blanket because they're really cold for some reason. I wonder why that is. He's not cold. They're cold. And he's like, you guys are a bunch of pussies. You know. Because they're really cold. So now we get the final one, the locket. Glenn frickin' Quinn from Angel and Roseanne comes up on his motorcycle, but it stops short at this house, a little old-timey looking house, where he knocks on the door because it starts raining, and he meets this woman who cannot talk for reasons. They don't really explain it. You kind of gotta put two and two together with this one, because they don't give you enough information to figure out the twist. But I'll do the best I can when I get to it. So he's in there and he's talking to her, and he's like, "What? I got your tongue?" And he's like, "Oh, you can't speak." Sorry. So she's writing on this whiteboard thing, telling him, which she could have done before, but we gotta have the little twist there. So she can't talk for some reason, and so he stays the night, and they're talking about her dad is driving the cattle range, or whatever, and he's far, far away. And so they stay the night together. They kiss, and he wakes up hearing her scream, which remember she's mute, but hearing her scream, and he goes downstairs to find two dead bodies. And you see there's a man and a woman, and the woman's like, it's clearly her, but it's clearly the daughter, but who's the man? Then he runs into her, and she still can't talk, and she writes, "Ghosts in the house." Oh, ghosts. Oh, come on. And then it starts to happen again. Like you hear the same thing again. "Daddy, no." And then you see him throw something. "What have I done?" And I figured out when he said, "What have I done?" I'm like, oh, obviously it's this. But yeah. And so then it reenacts itself. He gets confronted by the dad because he tells her to stay in the kitchen. And but then he walks by just as that they end up running out and walk by him again, like it's repeating, like it's a curse. And then the next morning they wake up, and he finally looks at the locket, and in the locket, it's a picture of her and him, very old-timey looking picture. And then all of a sudden a cut mark goes on around her neck, and her head falls off. And then they think Kristen Taylor's the one telling the story, and then they're like, "Oh, so she was a ghost the whole time," but didn't know it until the end. And I'm like, but he's a ghost too, right? It's implied that this is the scenario that happened, okay? What I can gather from this is that this scenario happens every night. He arrives, Glenn Quinn arrives, or they are lovers, but he's somehow reenacting something different. They're lovers that were murdered when found by her father, who's supposed to be gone for a long time. He murdered them, and then the father ended up unaliving himself in order for this to be like a curse thing. What I don't get is why Glenn Quinn is riding his motorcycle all the time to do it. They didn't have one back then, so I don't understand that part. They also never really connect him to the story, but it has to be him who is the boyfriend that gets killed. We just never see it, because his picture's in the thing. Unless it was an ancestor of his, sure, that'll work. But we're not to the craziest part, because we got the ending to the wraparound. So after the final story, they're sitting there talking, and our main man here, he sees, I don't remember his name, Cliff. He sees police lights. Hey, the police are here. And the other three just kind of look at each other. And he runs up and he sees them up there. And all of a sudden, we hear talking, and there's a paramedic, and it's Glenn Quinn again. I'm like, first time you watch, you think, oh, they double casted him. But then the other paramedic is the girl from that short. And they're paddling a person who ends up being Cliff. And the other three are dead, because he goes back, and he's like, guys, the cops are here, and they're gone. The fire's still there, but he's gone. They're gone. And then he looks back up, and he sees like a light, and we see all that with the paramedic. And then the married couple in the RV is what they almost hit. Some of it's came out of nowhere. And, I'm like, okay. So you're connecting all the stories, but where does the little girl who was left home alone fit in? It's the only story that they don't connect at all. And so they're trying to keep Cliff alive, but he dies, and then we cut back to the church, and they're all standing there, and he's like, accept his fate. He's like, I'm sorry, guys. And they just sort of smile at him, like, you know. And it ends. We go to credits. And then as soon as the main credits are done, like, it's like just all the actor credits or whatever, it cuts back to there, and there's someone driving up. This makes no sense to me. Someone's driving up and like, hey, you back up. And then the camera backs up, and you see whoever is driving has a hook for a hand, and it turns black and white. What the hell does that mean? I don't get it. Are they trying to say that this takes place in the 50s the entire time, and the story they told was real? I don't know. They wanted a twist that doesn't make any sense to me. It just doesn't make any sense. It just raises too many questions, as they say in Batman Forever. But I'll give this a high middle. I'll give this a high middle of the road. I think it's a fun little movie to watch. Put it on, anthology film, nice little thing. Put it on, have a little fun with it. It's not bad. It's very 90s, but it's not bad. Next up. All right. Neighbors. We already reviewed that. No. Not Neighbors with Zac Efron and Seth Rogen. No. I'm talking about the original Neighbors with Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi. And John Belushi is the straight man. Yep. It's kind of like The Great Outdoors, where you have John Candy and Dan Aykroyd, and John Candy is the straight man. Yeah, I've heard about this. Haven't seen it, so we're finding to get some eyes on that. So, what are your thoughts on Campfire Tales? Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.